Welcome everyone to the Transition 30 May 2025 Zoom call. My name is Todd Nelson. I am the creator of the Transition 30, but by far I am not the only person involved with this. We have seven what we call SMEs on the call today. And the whole idea is that we want to give you resources that you can take away and in a short period of time for you to have names and contact information for folks. And they're going to be talking about organizations. We don't allow sales pitches on the call. It's not about recruiting for our organizations. It's about giving you the information that you need as you're transitioning. It is extremely important information that every one of us is going to talk about. But with that, we give each one of our experts 5 minutes. And so I have my handy dandy little timer. Dave and Lori are on a tight leash today. So no, Dave is going to go first because he's got to jump off the call. At the end, we will have a Q&A. And so if you have questions that you don't want to put in the chat or would like to ask one of the presenters, feel free to do that in the Q&A. You do be aware that you will get an email at the end of this, probably tomorrow, that will give hyperlinks to everyone's LinkedIn profile. And you'll get a chat transcript, and you'll also get a link because we are recording this, and you'll get a link to the recording that will be edited down slightly. And so you'll be able to go back, and if you can't remember what was said, you can go back and watch that on our Transition 30 YouTube channel. So very appreciative of y'all joining us. Literally, we have talked to thousands of transitioning service members over the last 4 years because it is an important piece of going and with everything going on from inauguration day. So I have a lot of clients that 50% statistically think that the world's going to end in the next 3 years. 50% think the world's going to boom in a good way in the next 3 years. And they both have been right since election day. So lots of changes going on heading your way. You want to be prepared as much as you can possibly be. And I know Keith has been sharing some things on LinkedIn about some things going on. And we want all of you to be aware and as educated as you can be. So with that, I do want to start out. Dave Schantz, our resident Skillbridge guru. I know there's a lot of changes going on just in Skillbridge. So Dave, what do we need to know about Skillbridge?
Thank you, Todd. Thanks for having me. Actually had my meeting rescheduled, so I'll be able to stay on for the full call and take
Oh,
Q&A after.
good,
Um,
good.
would you start by sharing your YouTube channel in the chat? I'm going to change it up a bit. A lot of the things that I previously shared, everybody can go take a look at Todd's channel. I want to put out some new information. First thing I always want to start with is service members. You got to figure out what you want to do and where you want to live. Recruiters cannot and will not help a service member that says, I can do anything and I'm willing to live anywhere, right? They want to make long-term investments in people that have an idea of what they want to do and what they enjoy doing. And so for those reasons, if you haven't been through TAP yet, there's www.mynextmove.org is a career assessment that you can take. It'll ask you like 60 questions. I like building cabinets, and you rank them like 1 through 5. And at the end, it kind of tells you what job and what industries you're actually interested in. So please chase your happiness. Don't chase the paycheck that will come. Chase your happiness. I definitely don't want you waking up every day like, oh my God, now I got to do this, right? Branch instructions. The Army, the Navy, and the Marine Corps are all in line. They've all come up with tiered approval ratings based on rank, right? The Air Force, as of right now, I haven't seen has done that. The Marine Corps recently came out with an instruction, I think it was April 3rd, so just about 6 weeks ago, that they're about to walk back. The reason for the tiered instructions is because it's much easier for an E4's job to be chopped up and given to other E4s to accomplish, right? It's very that unit can do without that E4. It's not so easy for an O4 to have their job chopped up and given to other O4s to be done. So because we are still a military, every unit, every commanding officer has a responsibility of a certain level of readiness for their unit. That's why the branches are coming out with these instructions limiting service members based on their rank. You do have the ability to talk to your chain of command and see if they can extend that for you. Okay, kind of appeal to their personal side, right? Show them what it is you want to do and where you are today. Kind of draw a picture and do a little bit of gap analysis, right? Especially if you're changing career fields, that's going to be something big. Let them know that without this training that you're not going to be able to transition successfully or not to what you want to do. Kind of paint that picture for them. The other thing I want to talk about is it used to be very easy to get companies approved in the Skillbridge program. That has become more difficult because now the DoD only offers 2 8-week application periods. So it's February 1st to April 1st and October 1st to December 1st. Those are the only dates that the DoD is accepting new company applications. And so for that, we have over 6,700 approved organizations. I understand that maybe you have an affinity to a specific organization. If your timeline right now, if you're getting ready to start Skillbridge before October, I would just go with those 6,700 organizations. Go on the Skillbridge locations page, do a keyword search based on what it is you want to do, and that will filter all the approved organizations down to a usable size of information, and then you can reach out directly to those company POCs and let them know that you're a transitioning service member and you're very interested in participating in their Skillbridge program. What opportunities do they have available? Or I'd like to be a project manager. Do you have the ability to create a project manager opportunity for me, right? Never, ever, ever say no for an organization. When you go to that website, the Skillbridge locations page, you're going to see a lot of companies listed by location. Please do not say no for an organization, okay? Just because an organization is not advertising that they may have the ability to Skillbridge you in a certain location, don't say no for them. Reach out to the POC, say, let them know what your dates are, what your availability is, what it is you want to do, and see if they can create something for you, right? As long as they're approved, they have the ability to create an opportunity for you, okay? Another change is third-party organizations like Hiring Our Heroes and stuff like that. They are no longer permitted to offer Skillbridge, of course, to offer Skillbridge opportunities to organizations who are not approved themselves. So the organization you want Skillbridge with has to have their own MOU and approved application on file with the DoD. They can use a third-party organization like Hiring Our Heroes if they want, but the organization you actually receive training from must be DoD approved. And I guess I'm done. Thanks, Todd.
I will say that Dave has a lot of information, and I think Dave has been I know he has been on Lori's podcast, and so lots of information out there. Thanks, Dave. Obviously, if you have questions, you can either type those in the chat for him, or you can wait until the Q&A at the end. So Keith Cassant is I have called him the bearded wonder of truth bombs. And I think you will quickly understand why, not just his beard. And so, Keith, what do you want our transitioning service members to know?
Sure. Thank you so much, hey, Todd. Yeah, so I'm driving, so I'm trying to multitask without, my wife's way braver than I am. She's in the passenger seat while I'm doing this. So, but yeah, great to be here. So I do want to just say, I think Dave lied about his meeting just so he could get to the front of the line, because he did steal a little bit of my thunder. But what I like to tell folks is generally I like to go in the front of these things because I see myself as I'm here to tell you why you need to listen to everybody else that's speaking today. I've been in your shoes, as I alluded to with some chat right before the call officially started. I'm in your shoes right now. So I'm actually trying to practice what I preach and some of the things I'll be talking about. So prepare to take notes. I don't even know if my 5 minutes have started yet, but if they have, I got a bet with Gucci that I can get it under the 5 anyway. So the first thing I was normally going to say is Dave already took it, right? Figure out what you want to be when you grow up. right? Identify your gaps, decide whether or not you need education versus training, all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, you got to you got to tighten your shot group, right? You cast a wide net, you're spinning cycles, you're spending bandwidth, all those acronyms and all, or analogies and all that kind of good stuff, right? So you really got to start with figuring out what you want to be when you grow up, right? Then dive into your journey. Once you're in your journey, just to kind of make expectations, right? This is kind of one, because again, fear to wonder truth bombs, right? That Todd's dug me. But you need to prepare to fail, right? You are going to fail in this transition. It is guaranteed. That first resume review is going to be brutally honest and crush your spirit, right out the gate. You're going to want to give up right then and there, right? That first job application is going to end up with nothing moving forward. That first interview may not result in the job offer. Hopefully you're not getting all of these things all the time, right? You're going to have some headway and wins, right? But at some point, one of these things is going to happen. And I liken it to a knife fight, right? So transition is like a knife fight when I'm training security teams, which I do on the side as well, right? We can get to the knife fight portion. We say, you need to go into a knife fight prepared to get cut, right? Because if you don't, it's statistically pretty much guaranteed to happen. And if you don't think about going into it like, hey, this is going to probably happen to me, when it does happen, it's going to take your mind off the fight, right? You might even go into shock. But transition's no different, right? You need to expect that, yeah, there's going to be some downers. I've been retired from the Army 5 years, and I'm back in your shoes right now. And I've submitted some job applications. I posted about one a couple of weeks ago that broke my spirit because I thought for sure I'd get an interview, and I got a thanks for applying. We're going in a different direction, right? So yeah, the cuts happen to the best of. Just prepare when they do. Said, oh, there it is, right? So the next thing is to network, right? I'm actually gonna skip a couple topics today because I really want to beat Gucci or win the bet with Gucci. But networking, right? I've often said you'll it's who what you know, but really for you all in transition, it's not even who you know, it's who knows you're looking, right? Who knows you're out there. You can a lot of people just get on LinkedIn and try to get the 500 plus connections as quick as they can, right? And whatever. I'm not going to say that's good or bad, right? But do those 500 people know you're looking, right? Yeah, open the work banner. I'm sorry, that does nothing. Everybody's got that daggone thing up, especially right now. So get out there, meet these people, and let them know, hey, I'm in the market, right? Statistically, it's huge. There's been tons of studies. If you haven't heard them, they didn't go over it in PAP. But statistically speaking, 70 to 85% of all jobs are attained through networking, right? That's roughly 3 out of 4 jobs are attained through networking. I've had 5 jobs since I retired from the Army. 4 out of my 5 jobs were through networking. I knew somebody on the inside. So I'm in that 80% tile mark right there. So that's huge, right? If you can find somebody inside that organization that can help you get your name into that hiring manager's ear, that will give you such a humongous leg up on the competition. And so for all my transitioning service members, especially, something they don't typically tell you in TAP is don't neglect the network you already have. Whether you serve 4 or 30 years, right? You've served alongside people that have gotten out before you, or if you've been out for a little while, maybe people that have gotten out since you've been out, right? Where are they at, right? If you're like me, every time you've gotten a new one of these things, because I have 2 phones, right? I work for one of these old the new phone. You probably got hundreds of people in there. All right, I got 20 seconds, right? So start there, right? Have you sat down with your contacts list? LinkedIn and look these people up, see where they're at, see what they're doing. They might be they might be doing what you're looking to do. These are people you already have a relationship with. And then there you become see my
I'm going to say, Keith, that you I'm going to leave it between you and Gucci to decide if you made it or not, because you cut out right at the end. So I
did.
won't
I
be
made it. I'm
I know you did. I know you did. Yeah, I'm not going to mediate on that one. Well, listen, my name's Todd Nelson. I am going to talk to you about financial preparedness, and I know people always glance over this and say it's no big deal. I have two clients in the last couple of months that I have talked to that they, one yesterday that he retired in 2021. He totally messed up his taxation side of things and owes a $26,000 tax bill to the IRS because when he got out, he said, I didn't understand the difference between BAS, BAH, all that, and then my civilian income. And he's staring down a $26,000 tax bill. I have another client that PCS'd over from Germany, and he thought that because he was doing his final move, that it was all going to still be covered. That had changed, and the IRS came back 2 years later and said that $14,000 moving bill actually is now counted as income to you. And so he had several $1,000s of interest and penalties and all that. This is easily glanced over, but what I'm talking about in the next 3 minutes, because now I'm going to give 4 minutes because Lori was so kind to point out introductions should not count. But what I will say is that these are thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and can easily create a lot of heartache, a lot of sleepless nights. And so a couple of things to remember, SGLI versus VGLI. Okay, if you're 40 to 44, a $500,000 policy, which is the most that you can get for SGLI. If you go to VGLI, it's $80 a month. But by the time you're 60, that same premium goes up to $495 a month. Why do I bring that up? Because when you're going through your BDD process or your VA process, VA evals, you can exclude yourself from coverage simply because you get your evals in and then you decide, you know what, I'm going to look at what does it look like to get private life insurance. So really be aware that once those evals start to become a part of your medical records, the underwriters for private life insurance companies may say you are not insurable, and then VGLI becomes your only option. Okay, so make sure you're aware of that. SBP, Survivor Benefit Plan. As an E9, let's say you're going to come out and you're high 36, you're going to be at 50,000. When it comes to, I know there's a blended retirement system, but if you're still under the old system and you end up paying having 50,000 pension, that's 6.5%, which is about $270 a month that you have to pay on at least for 30 years, or and until you reach age 70. So most of you, it's going to be a 30-year premium. That's $100,000 worth of decisions that you're making with a simple check. SBP, and there's a few windows that you can get in and get out and all that stuff. So I'm not going to cover all that. But be aware that you want to have that conversation with your spouse. You want to run the numbers. You want to crunch the numbers. It's not something that your battle buddy says, man, you need to go out and get permanent life insurance because now I'm here to make sure that you're financially taken care of, and I want to make sure your well-being is taken care of and all that. Do not take their word for it. Don't take anybody's word for it. Run the numbers for yourself. Find somebody that can help you run the numbers if you don't know how to do that. Again, taxation. That is something that when you walk into your out processing appointment, they're probably going to say, so what do you want to have withheld? I don't know. Well, default is normally 10%. Easily you can come out jumping yourself into the 22 to 24% tax bracket. If you have your terminal and retire in the first part of the year, that's 11 months worth of income that you should have been withholding 22%. You're only withholding 10%. And so it can easily get way, way out in front of you. So be careful with that. And then finally, another consideration is your TSP. If you have a loan, some people don't know you can do it a loan on TSP. You can. If you have a loan on TSP, make sure that it is paid off before you separate from service, because if you can't pay it back within 90 days, it's due and payable, which means that gets added to your normal income, which again is probably going to be 22 to 24% and a 10% penalty. So be sure, especially in this day and age, that you make sure that you are talking to somebody that has been through the process before, that can help you to look at some of the pitfalls and be ready on the financial side. If you haven't started 2 years out, there's no time like today, but 3 to 5 years is not unusual to start that process. So we're going to move on now to Lori. Norris is our resident LinkedIn / resume / military to civilian interpreter. And Lori, and I know you've got podcasts, and so whatever you want to share, go ahead, because we're all ears.
Well, hello, everybody. I like to call myself a bilingual translator. I don't speak a foreign language. I'm a civilian that speaks the language of the military. And I have been doing veteran education and support since 2005. And so in 2020, I launched the Lessons Learned for Vets podcast. And this is like a who's who of my guests. And don't worry, Ken and John, I'm coming for you. And we'll get you on there too. And so there's 179 episodes as of today out there, all about the military transition process. When Todd first asked me to speak, he's like, can you pack everything you know into 5 minutes? And I said, no. And he makes fun of me for that, but I can do it in 179 episodes. So I invite you to go and check those out. And I will tell you that I choose to talk about the resume today. And I choose to talk about the resume for a couple of reasons. Number one, the education out there on resumes is lacking. I used to teach TAP. I know it's lacking. I always gave more room to the resume portion. And I've been in this business for 24 years, and I've been hearing ever since I started that the resume is dying. And you'll get a lot of bad advice out there that says, don't worry about your resume. You don't need a resume. You could just network. And yes, networking is critical. LinkedIn is critical, but you're eventually going to need a resume to apply for a job. And you want to have one that isn't written in crayon on a napkin. So that is not a shot at Marines, by the way, FYI. So that is just what the worst resume I've ever seen looked like. So I'm here to talk to you about all right, now you can start my time. I'm here to talk to you about the 5 elements that your resume must have. See how I'm like William Wallace. I'm leading the revolution against the transition 30. I'm here. So very first thing every resume must have is focus. We have to have a focus, and you've heard it really from almost everybody today. Is you got to figure out what you want to do when you grow up. Most people think, okay, I need to start looking for a job. I need to start planning for my military transition. I need to write my resume. Wrong. That is not the first thing you need to do. It is not the most important thing you need to do. First, you have to figure out what you want to do next. You cannot translate your military terminology. You cannot highlight your military accomplishments without knowing who you're trying to attract, what your focus in the job search is. It's like going fishing in the Pacific Ocean and having no idea what kind of a fish you want to catch. You don't know what kind of tackle to bring, what kind of bait to bring, what part of the ocean do I swim in or fish in, excuse me. And so you're going to come back from a day of fishing sunburned, hungry, and frustrated. And you're going to say there are no fish in the ocean. And if you're saying that about the job search right now, there is a chance, although I know this market is tough, there is a chance that you're not putting out targeted, focused resumes, so you're not capturing the attention of people. There is no such thing as a generic, effective resume. A resume that tries to appeal to everyone ends up appealing to no one. Okay, so number one thing you need on your resume is a focus. Number two, you need to highlight your unique value. Employers want to know, how are you going to make them money or save them money? They want to know what makes you cost effective. Employers hire because they have a need to fulfill or a problem to solve. And your job in your resume is to showcase that by telling them your unique value. They aren't hiring jacks of all trades. Once you get in the role, being a jack of all trades is very valuable. It makes you a very valuable employee. But that's not what they're looking for. If I were going to go drive a nail into a piece of wood today, and I went out to my toolbox and I found a Swiss Army knife and a hammer, I could get that nail into wood using both of those tools, but one is much more efficient. So I need you to figure out, like, whose hammer are you? That's what we need, okay? The third thing you need on your resume are measurable accomplishments. We need numbers and metrics to help the reader understand the scope of your responsibility. Most people reading your resume don't know anything beyond the military other than what they read in books, they see on movie screens. And so they think if you were in the Army, you spent the night on the side of a mountain in Afghanistan with a goat. And that's what they think you know how to do. All right. And so we've got to help them see your value with those measurables and metrics. It's important. It engages the reader. It helps people understand. The fourth thing you need, translated terminology, right? So people don't speak military. And so they don't, even different branches, a Marine doesn't understand the Army language. And so even if you're applying to a veteran hiring program manager, it might be Keith who's in the Army and he doesn't understand Air Force speak, right? So again, you've got to make sure that you are explaining that translated terminology. So don't be like that American that gets off the airplane and says, I'm here and I speak English and everybody needs to adapt to me. No, they will not. They will move on faster than you can blink if you don't take the time to translate your terminology. And the fifth thing you need on your resume are examples and stories. It is not enough to say, I have this skill. You need to explain to them how you have successfully used that skill in the past. Just remember, your resume isn't about where you've been. It's about where you're going next. How is where you've been, how has that helped prepare you for where you're going next? And that is what I need you to really think about when you're writing that resume. And I do believe I have 30 more seconds. So there you go. I just want to finish early and just stick out my tongue at all of you that said I couldn't do it.
Lori, as always, that's great. Great
Thanks,
information. Todd. All right, Josh Atkinson with PM Pro Learn. Tell us what you and your organization does for the transitioning service member. Are you there?
All right, I guess I'll do the intro then tell you when to start so I can add a few minutes onto my time. Just kidding. So Josh Atkinson, yeah, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right. Unstable. Love it. All right. So Josh Atkinson, Marine Corps veteran. I am a living Rosetta Stone from military operating in her podcast. And the biggest thing I'll say, not to repeat what anyone said here, is getting a job is like getting a date. There is no way to make sure that you are attractive, nor can you be attractive to everybody, right? So invest in building your character and the skills that you can bring to the table to be an effective employee. All right. And when it comes to our pride in uniform, right? I have a meme of a high school lettering jacket right next to an Army uniform. You wear both with pride when you're the big dog on campus, and just like your high school letterman's jacket, no one gives a crap you were the high school football star the day after you graduate. So your ranks, your badges, your tabs, your medals don't mean anything on the outside, but they're great at a veteran networking event over a beer. Okay, so invest in yourself through certs. Okay, they're short-term, high impact, and even going through the class helps you teach how to speak civilian in that specific profession. Military planning is project management every single day. I will talk to anybody about that and help them translate those skills directly. We call them projects on the outside. The second piece, job titles are just billets. There is no lifetime MOS anymore. It's you and what you bring to the table so you can successfully date the company in a temporary relationship. Okay? The skill of project management is in every role you will ever have, even if you're never called a project manager again. Okay? So there's just a big disconnect between the military and what we think is normal and the civilian life. So if you are interested in wanting to understand who you are, I call it defining your requirements, right? All those things you want to be doing, not the job title, please reach out and connect. Our company, we help vets get certified in project management, PMP, Agile, Lean Six, and CCMP. We are funded through the VA, the GI Bill, all the credentialing programs that are out there. So we are not free, we are funded. And we're a great partner to programs like O2O that are out there to help you get other certs as well. Again, certifications are learning industry doctrine being backed up by somebody else that says you're able to do the job. And it helps you believe in yourself, bridge that credibility gap, understand how to tell relevant dynamic stories with data, as Lori was talking about, using terms that the civilian company speaks. Okay. I went from Marine Corps logistics. I got Lean Six and PMP on active duty, went into construction, then consulting. Now I'm an entrepreneur. Guess what? I'm still running projects, even in marketing, building marketing campaigns and targeting campaigns. So anyway, that's what we do. I'd love to talk to you guys more. Again, I love being a partner with the people on the call. Ken, great to see you again as well. John, love the O2O mission set. I've been volunteering with them for years too. You know, it's a collaborative ecosystem. There's tons of benefits, tons of resources that are out there. Biggest thing is don't wait until the firefight to upgrade your weapon, right? You are that weapon. Your resume is the bullet. Why do we wait until the firefight to realize we're not capable? Invest early, set the conditions 3 to 5 years out, so that when you get to the end, you're just refining your aim and taking out targets of opportunity. So with that, I will mic drop on how much time I got left, but I think I'm under 5 minutes.
You are under 5 minutes, Josh, and I appreciate the all the information. And Gucci, we are going to move on to you for those of you on the call. John is I guess his given name, but Onward to Opportunity is a fantastic program. And Gucci, if you will tell us about that program and how the transitioning service members can get involved.
Sure, Todd. Thanks so much for having me here. Hey, my best piece of advice to everyone is to follow everybody that's on this call on LinkedIn and heed their advice, because I'm taking notes on what they're saying here. So I'll yield the rest of my time back to the Speaker of the House here. No, and I'm joking. So good afternoon, everybody. I'm John Malfitano. I work for Syracuse University's Institute for Veterans and Military Families. The Institute does have a variety of programs for the benefit of transitioning service members and veterans and military spouses. Onward to Opportunity is one of those. We are a designated Department of Defense Skillbridge provider. Just found out from my headquarters last week that we got our MOU approved by DOD through May of 2027. So I guess I will be gainfully employed for at least the next 2 years. There are different pillars of Skillbridge. There's internships, there's fellowships, there's apprenticeships where you can leave your command organization for an agreed upon amount of time, 30, 60, 90, 120 days. It can be a win-win situation. It's a win for you because you get to leave your command and gain valuable practical experience, perhaps at a company that you might like to work for after you've separated or retired. It is a win for the company, one, because they're not paying for you because Uncle Sam is still paying your salary, and two, they basically get to test drive you. All right. So while there might not be a guarantee of future employment, you're likely to be a preferred candidate for employment. So if you get the opportunity to take advantage of a program like that, I might encourage you to do so. It could be a good deal. Onward to Opportunity is not about that. There's no such thing as getting an internship with Onward to Opportunity. We offer free training and certification opportunities in certain areas like project management, human resources, a whole slew of IT, cyber type courses, as well as actual job placement. We do that. We are a national program, so we're in 18 locations around the nation, mostly military concentration center areas. And so locally here, you know, I know my area, my region, my state, but we are a national program as well. We have national partnerships with Recruit Military and Hire Heroes USA. So upon separation, if you want to go back to your home of record in Kansas or California or Hawaii, we're going to look for opportunities there for you. You'll fill out an information sheet letting us know when you're available to work, the kind of work you're looking for. We're already helping you with your resume and your LinkedIn profile and marketing and branding yourself. And we're going to hook you up with one of over 800 veteran-friendly employers that we have in our employer partner network. So that's what Onward to Opportunity is about. And I want to thank you all for your service. And I salute all the other folks that are here for giving absolutely great advice. Just coming off what Todd said about VGLI, I'm a perfect example of what he said there. I was not planning on taking VGLI, and then I had a medical thing happen to me within 120 days of separation, and that became the more viable option. SPP, I was not planning on taking SPP. They changed the rules 6 months before I retired in 2015, such that my son, who has a disability, now when I pass, my wife will get 55% of my base pay. When my wife passes, my disabled son will get 55% of my base pay for the rest of his life. It will not make him a rich man, but he will never go hungry either. And the last thing I want to say is you're going to underpay your taxes your first year out. So just plan on it. If in doubt, take more out. All right. Thank you.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, Gucci, thank you. Because you're exactly right. I have on LinkedIn seen all kinds of people, and typically they're connected with life insurance companies, and they're dogging on SBP and all that. And it's such a personal decision. There's so many different factors. Do not just take your battle buddies word for it. SVP is great for some folks, may be terrible for others, and it really is a decision that you need to make once you have dug into your personal situation. So appreciate you expanding on that. And last but not least, we do have Ken Haynes. He is with the organization Boots to Cyber, and he is in the middle of his PCS final PCS. Hopefully, and so really appreciate you taking time out of your day. Ken, what do we need to know about Boots to Cyber?
Hi, thanks for having me today. I'm the new guy, so my little 5 minutes isn't going to be very polished, and I apologize. I just want to reinforce some things that some folks have said here today. Number one, VGLI. Don't knock it too much. You have 240 days after your separation to sign up for VGLI, and you don't have to take out $500,000. You could take out $10,000 and pay very little. But there might be some point in the future where you wish you had that VGLI option, but you let it pass by. So do consider getting the minimal amount of VGLI before you head out, because if you're getting life insurance from your employer, that's a great thing. But if they let you go, that life insurance disappears
It's gone.
as soon as they let you go. And I learned that fact the hard way in November.
Mhm.
Okay. But fortunately, I was able to still get VGLI. So don't forget that option is there, and don't exclude it just because it looks expensive in the future. You can always raise and lower the amount that you get in the future. That said, the transition is hard. Harden your spirit. I transitioned in June, retiring after a very successful career. I got a Fortune 100 job, and as soon as I was done onboarding, me and 6,000 of my friends were laid off. And it's been a struggle ever since to find same type of employment. So just harden your spirit. You will encounter bumps in the road. There will be disappointments. But I hope that you don't encounter that. A lot of people don't. But just harden your spirit and plan. Give yourself grace that you've had a successful career in the service and that you're about to do new, great, wonderful things. Plan on the money. I had extra set aside from all my income streams for the IRS, and I actually got a tax refund my first year. So I did not pay anything back. So do plan for that and listen to that advice. Less than 1% of the population is served. So when you're writing your resume, just like Lori said, don't write it like an evaluation or award. You have to show the employer that you're bringing value, that you're going to hit that nail with a hammer as soon as you walk through the door. All right, get advice, rewrite your resume, rewrite it, have people read it, rewrite it, rewrite it, rewrite it. Okay, that said, you all have great potential value to your employers. The skills that you bring as a veteran are immeasurable. You're a teammate. You know how to work as a team and not fight alone. You know what it means to protect and defend the mission. You are adaptable. You learn things quickly. You handle stress very well. You're motivated, and you can learn and teach things very easily. So when you're looking at possibilities for your next phase of your life, I want you to consider Boost to Cyber. What do? We offer you no-cost cybersecurity training. We have a lot of veteran partner organizations we work with that will get you to be a certified cybersecurity engineer during a Skillbridge period, 120 days long. We're building a culture that veterans thrive in. We've had mechanics go through the program, logisticians, very few technical people. But out of the 120 or so that we've had in the last 3 years come through the program, only one has bowed out. All the others have and gain meaningful employment, and they're all very happy. So why is this a great field for you? The demand for cybersecurity experts is growing 31 times faster than any other job segment in the United States. The current projection from the Department of Labor, there's a workforce gap of 3.4 million people in this career field. If you look at that over each year, that means there's 760 vacancies a year in cybersecurity. Small businesses really want you. And the average cost for a security breach is $150,000 to those small businesses. And the government is ratcheting down on the requirements for businesses to be secure, to do business with the government. So it's a high demand. My 5 minutes is almost up. I got 30 seconds. I do encourage you to take a look at us. I posted the website in our LinkedIn there in the chat. You can get more information, but it's a wonderful program. It is no cost, and we will get you certified, coaching, and mentored all the way through the process. And
That's great.
5 minutes. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much. It sounds like a great organization. I'd seen you post several times about that organization, and it was new to me. So one of the things that you need to know as a transitioning service member is there are upwards of 44,000 nonprofit organizations, not counting for-profit, that are trying to help you in your assistance, all with varying degrees of usefulness and effectiveness. And so one of our goals on Transition 30 is to highlight some of the ones that we personally have either vetted or have been recommended from other folks that would be good to promote to you. And just realize that that's why we are here. And the whole point of the call is not to give you everything that you need to know about Skillbridge or Boots to Cyber or PMP Pro Learn or PM Pro Learn. It's to say, if you want more information on this particular subject, here's somebody you can reach out to, and that's our whole goal. So with that, we're going to open it up to a question and answer period. If there aren't a whole lot of questions, I will say to the presenters, we do this every time. At the end of this segment, we're going to give you about 5 to 10 seconds. Why would somebody want to reach out to you personally? And so that way they know who they need to reach out to. So if you have a question, go ahead and unmute yourself and go ahead and ask us the question, and we'll do the best we can to answer that. Any questions? Not
I
all
have
at
a
once.
question. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
I can.
Okay, so just so you know, Robin Briggs, I am scheduled to get out June of next year. We'll hopefully do CSP starting June of next year. Mine is a little strange. I actually want to go to Portugal. And I was looking, I know Johnson and Johnson, I saw on the website, Johnson and Johnson had stuff over there, but it didn't show it on the website. Of course, it showed different locations. How would you, or what do you think would be a good way at approaching some of the organizations that may be on the site that aren't offering Portugal, but asking if they could possibly offer Portugal? What are your thoughts to that, I guess?
Is this for Skillbridge?
Correct, yes.
So Skillbridge is not built for overseas use. However, there are 3 ways that a service member can Skillbridge overseas. One is to Skillbridge overseas and then return back to the States to be hired. The second way is if you are married to a local of that country. Every country would rather have a working citizen than a non-working citizen. And the third way is if the position you're filling can only ever go to an American. And typically that's going to be for positions that require a clearance that foreigners cannot obtain. So if the opportunity does not fit into one of those 3 categories, I mean, quite honestly, the company may still offer it to you. They would be breaking the rules, but I mean, you wouldn't be the one to get in trouble for it. So if you wanted to do a Skillbridge opportunity in Portugal, whether you fit into one of those 3 categories or not, I would reach out to their program lead. You know, give them an introductory email, let them know what your available dates are and what you're looking to do. and where you're looking to do it, and see if they can create a match for you.
Okay, thank you.
Are there remote skill bridges? I know I've seen some in the past that did educational skill bridges that you could do from anywhere in the world. It's just a remote skill bridge. Would that be something she could look into if she's just looking for a skill bridge versus an employer skill bridge?
That's a good point. Yeah, she can do it remotely. The rules have changed as far as how training is delivered. 51% or more of Skillbridge training must
Face-to-face.
be synchronous, right? So either live Zoom or live face to face. The DoD is looking to get rid of death by PowerPoints or death by YouTube videos or something like that. So 51% or more of the training has to be delivered by a live instructor. Thanks, Josh. That's a good point.
Great information. Thanks, Robin, for that question. Anyone else? We'll give you a couple more seconds. If you do have a question, go ahead and unmute yourself. If not, then I'm going to go by order of how I see you on the screen. And so everyone that is presenters, be ready. Any other questions? All right. Well, we appreciate everybody joining. Again, you're going to get one last email from me at Transition 30, and it's going to list all the presenters with hyperlinks where you can go to their LinkedIn if you haven't already reached out to them. You'll have a chat transcript, and you'll have that YouTube channel link that I've already posted, and that will all be in the email. So we're going to start, Ken, with you. In 10 seconds, why would somebody want to reach out to you in regards to Boost Cyber or any other reason?
I'm here to help you transition, whether you're retiring or separating, looking at other options and getting you and your family ready to transition. I care about soldiers and I care about service members, and I will always answer and help you.
Right. Okay. For me, because I'm the second one, if you are in need of a conversation on SBP to run some of the numbers based off of your independent situation, if you have TSP questions, anything along the lines that has to do with money and transition, reach out to me. Josh, why would we reach out to you?
Because I've screwed it up more than most, and I've got a lot of good lessons learned. I didn't make major, and I got kicked out of the Marine Corps after 11 and a half years. And the struggle of who I was and figuring out my identity and my value and what I wanted to be when I finally grew up and left home was a real journey for me. And I do a lot to give back and help other people figure it out without tripping on themselves so hard. So if you're looking into self-discovery, figuring out your requirements, mapping out who you are so you find a good date, not a blind date, let me know. And if you're looking into project management and certs, I'd love to have that conversation on how to get set up, how to get them funded for free. And then again, I mentioned, O2O and other programs are out there for ways to get them too. It's just a good ecosystem to be connected with. So hit me up. I'll make time. I will talk to you. I will spend hours a day coaching you for free. It's not about the money. It's about making sure you're successful. So that's why I do what I do.
All right. Thanks, Josh. Lori, why would we reach out to you?
There's really no such thing as a military transition expert because every person's transition is unique to their own needs and their own values and their own situation. And so I started this podcast so that I could share stories of other people and I could help you learn from those stories. And I promise you that at the end of every episode, you'll walk away with some actionable strategies that you can put into place to smooth your transition. But most importantly, after listening, you're going to know, like, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one that's having these challenges. I'm not the only one that doesn't know what I want to do. And so I welcome you to go to your favorite podcast provider and look up Lessons Learned for Vets podcast and subscribe and follow us and start listening to some of the shows so that you can get some of that actionable intel for yourself.
And I am going to say session 151 is my personal favorite. So
I heard the guest is really annoying, but I'm not sure. He only gives people 5 minutes.
I've heard that too.
I got online and I was like, all right, 5 minutes. You get 5 minutes to answer every question.
I hear you. I hear you. That's awesome. It's true. Payback is no fun, I will say. All right, Gucci, why would we reach out to you?
Probably to have a pint of beer. Just ask Keith Cassant. or certainly a cup of Joe or something like that. Hey, I'm going to be a politician and acknowledge your question and answer what I want to. Just my one final piece of advice to you guys is learn how to talk about yourself, because it's never been about you while you've been in service. It's always been about your organization, your command, your service, your nation. It is now about you, right? So you get to the interview, you like a lot of my distinguished colleagues have told you, you have to explain to them how you're going to improve their bottom line, make them more efficient or effective. So they may honor your military service, but now they want to know how you are going to help them. It is about them. Okay. Thanks.
Excellent. Dave, why would we reach out to you?
Reach out to me if you'd like to learn more about Skillbridge, how to use the website, if you'd like assistance finding a Skillbridge opportunity. I have a large talent pipeline that I help organizations kind of match, the kind of talent that they're looking for. Yeah, I mean, any of your Skillbridge questions, happy to answer them. Everybody's situation is unique.
That's the reason you call yourself the Skillbridge champion, right? Keith,
Sir.
Finish us out. Why would we reach out to you?
I'm going to kind of do twofold. I'm going to take a little bit of John's advice and then do a little bit of Josh's advice. Another that I write, sure can all for you. Build yourself advisors, build a team around you that can help, because they all have their own weaknesses. Are you losing me?
For a second. So I think it was find a mentor or find 10 is
Okay.
is where you were at. So
Yeah, sorry about that. I was full reception right up until I started talking, and it dropped down to like 2 bars. So yeah, find a mentor, find 10, build yourself a board of advisors that can help you. And then the other piece, which is something I didn't talk about in the beginning, presuming I maybe keep my job, I'm the Veterans Program Manager for a federal agency known as the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, which is a mouthful, so we say CISA for short. Why you would reach out to me is because I do all things military for that agency, to include helping you build your federal resumes and all the other kinds of stuff. So just like Josh, reach out to me, we'll have a conversation. In 1 hour, I can probably cram way more down your throat than you'll ever be able to digest, at least in that one session. So reach out to me, happy to connect.
all right. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Feel free to share the YouTube link. There is a lot of great information. Each one of these presenters are giving of their time, and so we're very appreciative, and we want them to know that they are being appreciated by having you reach out to them, take advantage of their organizations. Presenters, thank you so much for your time. Every one of you, it's been great to either have you on for the first time or for the multiple time. You've really done great, and I appreciate your time, and y'all have a great rest of your day. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks. Bye now.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.